We are coming to you tonight with some coverage of the Tampa Bay serial killer because earlier today, this morning, the fourth victim, believed to be the victim of the serial killer, was found shot in the same neighborhood as the previous three victims. So we wanted to talk about this tonight. I don't think we haven't done a stream about this so far. We wanted to do a stream. We wanted to catch you up on what's going on in Tampa, and we wanted to get your comments on the story. You can write to me during the broadcast at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. So let me know what you think, and I'll read your comment on the air. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the moderators in the chat rooms, both on the web and on YouTube. On the chat on YouTube, we got JC and Real Frank is there, and let's see, are there any others there right now? There very well might be others later. I think JC and Real Frank are in control right now, and Common Sense and Glenn O on the website. So what I want to do is just catch you up on the news from today specifically, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the shooter in general. It's kind of some odd details about these shootings, all happening in the same area, the Seminole Heights area of Tampa. So let's talk about today's shooting though. So today's shooting was, oops, let me get it up here. As you can see, this is from ABC News. Fourth person slain in Tampa neighborhood amid search for apparent serial killer. This has got to stop. Now, this was the first one since October. 3 people were shot in 11 days in October, but since then there had not been another murder like this in this neighborhood. But just this morning, there was another one. And we're going to talk about the different murders and some of the parallels between them. But they have all happened in the same 1 mile area. So, let's talk about the one from this morning. This story from ABC News says, the man killed in cold blood on a Tampa, Florida street early this morning was shot from behind in a case that authorities say may be related to a string of unsolved killings that has left a community on edge. So authorities do believe to be, from the reports I've read, they believe this to be the fourth in this series of killings. What is it? Let me just get that. Authorities have identified the latest victim as Ronald Felton, 60, who was supposed to meet up with someone when he was apparently targeted and killed. Someone came up from behind and shot him. That is what the Tampa police chief said. Someone came up from behind and shot him, and he was left on the street. Now, what's new today, though, is there is a description of the shooter. And by the way, thank you, Christine, for the donation. I forgot to mention we are viewer supported. So if you like our broadcasts, you can support us because your donations keep us on the air. So thank you, Christine, for donating. If you'd like to donate, you can do what Christine did. Just go to the YouTube chat and click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat. There's a little $sign there. Or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. So this is the victim, and thank you, Elizabeth Luker, for your donation. Elizabeth Luker gave $30. Wow, thank you, Elizabeth. And she said, how's it going, my beautiful MAGA family? My blessings and love go to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving to all, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there as well from Right Side. So this is the victim who was the fourth victim believed to be of the killer, the serial killer in Tampa, Ron Felton. Now, he was killed at around 5 a.m. Police arrived within seconds of 911 calls, which were placed before 5 a.m. And I had some more information on him. Let me just tell you some more information. There are a couple pictures here of Ronald Felton, who was sadly, it seems, just killed well, I don't know about randomly, but killed by the serial killer. And the Daily Beast had a story. Let's see if, I know they mentioned some information about him as well. Okay, so this again is from the Daily Beast story. But they say Ronald Felton, 60, was shot and killed early Tuesday morning in Tampa's Seminole Heights neighborhood. That's the same neighborhood as the other killings have been. He is the fourth person killed within the same mile radius area since October 9th. But now, for the first time, police have a description of the person they believe is murdering locals. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's hear a little bit about Felton. And thank you, by the way, to Lynn C. for your donation. We appreciate it. Lynn says, thanks to RSBN, Steve, and Mods from England. Thank you, Lynn C. So Seminole Springs neighbors knew Felton, who was the fourth victim, as a helper, a New York native and a father of three. Very sad, father of three. Felton regularly volunteered at a local food bank. He was on the way to the food bank that he volunteers at Tuesday morning and was crossing the street when his killer approached him from behind, police said. A man in a nearby laundromat told the Tampa Bay Times that he heard 5 shots and saw a man running from the scene. Felton died on the spot, just blocks from a memorial. Just blocks from a memorial for the three other people who'd been mysteriously shot and killed in the neighborhood since October 9th. So this happened just blocks from where the memorial had been set up for 3 people who are all believed to be victims of this same serial killer. And this is a quote somebody said about the victim. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it because he don't bother nobody. All he does is try and help people all the time, a local woman who knew Felton told Tampa's ABC Action News. They distribute food every Tuesday and Friday. He always comes up here to the church around 2:33 to set up. So maybe we're talking about 2:33 a.m., I think. The woman said other volunteers had seen a tall man dressed in black at the scene of a slaying. And also, the slaying, the Tampa police spokesperson said, today we got there within seconds of catching the shooter. They got there within seconds of catching the shooter. And the spokesman said, we are asking people to report anything suspicious. It may be that little thing that allows us to catch this person. Let me just check the audio here. Oh, great. Sorry about that. I want to make sure you could hear me okay. So, I'm going to tell you, so there's now a description of the suspect, and I'm going to show you some surveillance footage from the first murder that they think is of the suspect as well. But, I was thinking about this. It's all these murders have taken place within a 1-mile radius. So now it's possible, I'm guessing, that somebody is like driving in from far outside the area and committing these murders and then leaving. But if they think someone lives around the area, you would think that would really help them narrow down who this person might be, because there's only so many people who live in that area. I mean, I'm sure it's really hard, but at the same time, I would think it's maybe helpful to them that it's not like these are taking place all over Florida. It's in one concentrated area. And there's some similarities between the murders I want to talk about in a second. But first, I want to say thank you to Brandy Newswanger. Brandy has made a donation. Thank you, Brandy. Brandy says, thank you for keeping us informed. Blessings, Jeremy, Brandy, and family. Thank you so much, Brandy. That's really kind of you. Those donations are what keeps us on the air, so we thank you. So, all right. So let's talk about the description of the shooter. Now, they have a description now. Well, first, let me show you this. When the first murder happened, there's some security footage that ended up getting released that the police said was a suspect, a person of interest. I want to show you this footage here. Let's see if I can do this the right way. So I'll get my face out of here. I'll play the footage a couple times here. It's a footage of a man walking with a hood who was originally walking. Looks like maybe he's looking at a cell phone. And I guess he later started running, although I haven't seen footage of that. Let me keep showing you this footage here. This is from the CBS News website, as you can see. And that is footage from the scene, the area where the first murder happened, when the first murder happened. And they've been looking for that person. So now there's a description from an eyewitness of the latest killing, the victim who's believed to be the 4th victim of the serial killer, found this morning. There was an eyewitness description, so let me get you that. I know it's in this article because I saw it. Let's see. Let's see. 6. Oops, sorry. Maybe it's not in that article. Is it in this article? Here it is. Sorry, it's in this article. It's in the ABC News article. The suspect in the killing has been described as a slim black man about 6 feet to 6 feet 2 inches tall with a light complexion, authorities said. He was armed with a large black pistol and was last seen wearing all black clothing, according to police. So that's what they have a description of the suspect. They have this video from, let me confirm that that's from the first, that video is from the first murder. Well, that's what I remember reading. So, yes, here it is. Here we go. At the press conference today, police offered their first description of the suspect, a thin black man approximately 6 feet tall, armed with a pistol. That description might match the surveillance footage of a man previously wanted for questioning in the first of the 4 murders. And that is this person that we saw in this footage, which I'm going to show you again. Oops, what happened here? Here we go. So this is the person who was wanted for questioning in the first murder. And authorities think that the person the eyewitness saw today might be this same person. Okay, so I'm going to take your comments in a second, but what I want to do is also talk a bit about the different murders and how they're similar to each other. Most of the murders are, and some of the details of those murders. But we're going to take your comments here at Right Side Broadcasting as we cover this Tampa serial killer, now believed to be responsible for 4 killings within a month. Well, within about 5 weeks of each other, all in the same neighborhood. Look at, I have a map of the neighborhood here too. I want to show you. Where was that at? I think it was here. Here it is. So if you look here, these are all the murders. And look at how close they are. I mean, those are blocks. Those are blocks. Look at how close they all are to each other. Now, this is in Seminole Heights, which is a neighborhood of Tampa. And if we zoom out here, actually, let me get this on the screen a little better. If we zoom out, so there's Tampa, and Tampa is on, the west side of Florida. So there's Tampa where the blue marker is, and we'll zoom in closer to Tampa. You can see where this is happening. Old Seminole Heights. Seminole Heights is where this is happening. And again, just look at how close those murders are to each other, all 4 of them. And there are some other similarities too, which we'll talk about. But again, if you have comments, write me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. I'm going to check my comments in 2 seconds. And if you want to know when we're coming on the air with these news videos, we do them all the time. Subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell. That way you'll get notified whenever we come on the air. And also, you can follow us on Facebook at Right Side Broadcasting and on Twitter at RSB Network. I'm checking doing a comments check. Apache Will says, do we know who the victims are? That's a great question, and the answer is yes. So let's go over who the victims are. The one found today, the 4th victim, believed to be victim, is, we talked about him before, Ronald Felton, 60 years old. These are a couple pictures of him. And then I had pictures of the other 3. I think it was in a different article. Let's see. Was it in this article? I know I had it. Hang on, I might have to open up a 3rd article. Where was that? I really thought it was this article. Hang on, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Because I do want to talk about the different victims. There we go. So this is it's going to autoplay video. I gotta wait till it stops autoplaying because CNN does this all the time. Ooh, is it not going to autoplay? How lovely. No, but autoplayed. Okay, so these are the pictures of the previous 3 victims. Their names are Benjamin Mitchell, Anthony Nyboa, and Monica Hoffa. Benjamin Mitchell is on the left there. And Benjamin Mitchell, 22, was shot and killed in front of his home October 9th. So he was the first one. Monica Hoffa, who's on the right, she was 32. She was killed 2 days later. And Anthony Nyboa is in the middle. He was a 20-year-old who was autistic. So I want to give you a little more details about these victims. We might as well talk about this now. So those are the first three victims, but kind of some odd similarities, especially involving taking the bus with those three. So let me tell you about that. So the first one is Benjamin Mitchell. So this is from the Daily Beast article. On October 9th, around 9 p.m., a man was filmed strolling the area, his face obscured by a hood. We saw that footage before. So that was that footage we saw, the surveillance footage, this surveillance footage here. This was October 9th. Play it one more time. This footage here. So on October 9th, somebody took that footage was taken, and around the same time, 22-year-old Benjamin Mitchell was waiting by a bus stop. Mitchell and his killer were the only ones on the street. When neighbors heard gunfire, they rushed to the bus stop, where they found Mitchell dying on the sidewalk. He hadn't been robbed and had no history that would suggest a premeditated attack. So that happened at a bus stop. No robbery, no seeming history that would suggest an attack. Then 2 days later, less than a mile away, it would be more gunshots. And it would be 2 days until locals found Monica Hoffa dead in a field less than a mile from the place of Mitchell's death. But I think there's something where she was like taking the bus too. Let me see if I can find that for you. Here we go. So this second murder, Monica Hoffa, she was, maybe she wasn't. The third one has, well, let's go to the third one, then I'll get back to the second one. The third killing involved the bus in a way too. The first one was at a bus stop, and it seems like Benjamin Mitchell was waiting for a bus. The first victim was waiting for a bus. The third victim on October 19th, Anthony Nyboa, a 20-year-old man with autism, was killed in the southeast Seminole Heights neighborhood after taking the wrong bus home from work. So he had gotten off the bus. So the first victim was killed waiting for the bus. The third victim was killed after he had gotten off the bus. And I want to see, I really think that there was something with the second victim too, where she had some kind of bus connection. Let's see if I can find this. Monica Hoffa did not have, the second victim, Monica Hoffa, does not have a bus connection. She, according to the New York Times, she was fatally shot by walking to a friend's house. So first victim shot waiting for a bus. Second victim shot walking to a friend's house. Third victim shot after he had gotten off a bus. And the second victim they found, this is the second victim, a city landscape crew about to mow an overgrown field in Seminole Heights on the morning of October 13th stumbled upon the body of Monica Hoffa a half mile from where the first and third victims died. She had been fatally shot while walking to a friend's house. And now today, this morning, apparently we have a fourth victim, same neighborhood, shot while walking to a food bank where he volunteered. So, and we have a black screen. Amazing. Unbelievable that we have a black screen. Sorry, guys. So we know there's a black screen going on, and I'm just going to take a picture. So, guys, just so you know, this black screen issue has returned. We have no idea why. YouTube said they fixed the black screens a month ago. It just started last night. We're in contact with YouTube about it. If you see a black screen come on the air during our videos, our live streams, just know it'll be up there for a few seconds and then it'll go away. So we apologize for the black screens, but we're working on getting this fixed again. It's kind of ridiculous that it's happening again, but we apologize. But just know if you see it, we haven't gone away. It's just a dumb YouTube thing. So let's let me, all right, so we talked about the victims. We talked about the different circumstances, how they were all in the same neighborhood. A couple of them involved the bus. One was waiting for a bus. One had just gotten off the bus, but two of them were just walking on the street. One was walking to a friend's house and one was walking to a food bank where he volunteered. So, you know, all real in the same 1 mile area though, so kind of odd. And the timing's a bit odd in that 3 of them took place within 11 days in October. Then after October 19th, nothing until today, November 14th, almost a month later, another one in the same area. So we'd love to hear from you, get your comments on, And now Graham wrote in, yeah, Graham, thank you for writing in about the black screen. By the way, if you do see the black screen again, and a bunch of you did this last time we were having these black screen issues, feel free to screenshot the black screen, take a screenshot of it, and then tweet it to @YouTube and @TeamYouTube. That's @YouTube and @TeamYouTube, and say, hey YouTube, can you please fix this stuff at Right Side Broadcasting? This has been going on for 4 months and you never fix it. So that would be good because that lets them know there's a problem. So we'll be in contact with them too. Oh, and Sweet Sinner already did do that. Thank you, Sweet Sinner. Sweet Sinner already posted. I'll show you. Yeah, it's really annoying. We're sorry. Sweet Sinner said, hey, YouTube, want to fix your S? Really damn annoying when I'm trying to watch the news. Thank you. You can tweet @TeamYouTube too. I want to retweet that from the RSBN account. That's what I want to do. But then I'm going to get to some more of your comments. But just want to let YouTube know this is happening. Oh, you know what I realized though, Sweet Sinner? I don't think I can retweet that one because I retweeted it, but then I realized it had a naughty word in it. So I'm not going to retweet it from the RSBN account. If you do one without a naughty word, then I'll retweet it. Or will retweet it. Okay, I'm going to get to some more of your comments. Some of you have been writing in about this. Whatever, I'll retweet it. It's important. See how much time I'm having to waste on this because YouTube won't fix it. Done. Let's see. Graham writes in, noticed Walmart is nearby. Do you think they could have captured footage of the suspect? So, you know, something I don't know is if there's any other footage of the suspect. There's that one piece of video which they released here. We saw the video there. Oh, and another black screen. Amazing. So I'm going to keep talking. Sorry guys for the black screen. I'm going to keep talking. So there's this one piece of video they have of the suspect, but you know, is it possible that they have other surveillance video in the area that they haven't released to the public? If so, why would they not want to release it to the public? Well, I wonder, like, is it possible ever that they would have surveillance video, but they don't want to like tip the criminal off or something like that, that they have the video of that? You know, I don't know. I'm not aware of a situation in which, you know, the authorities would have this surveillance video, but not release it to the public, because I would think they want the public's help in finding the person. So my guess would be that they don't have other surveillance video. Now, it's also possible they have surveillance video that's kind of grainy or of somebody in a hood in the distance, but that they don't even think would be helpful to release, so they might not release that. But it's a good question whether there's any other video out there. I would think if there's anything that they think could help the public identify the person, they would release it because they want to catch the person as soon as possible. Now, another thing I wonder is this. All of these murders have happened within a mile of each other. So if these murders happen within a mile of each other, like, might the cops start putting up cameras at different places? Or might there be undercover surveillance going on in that area that wasn't there before? If it's only around a mile area. So perhaps there is other surveillance. And it sounds like with this last murder, the cops got there between seconds, which made me wonder, are there a lot of more cops in that area now out patrolling and hoping to catch the person whenever they try to do it again? So those are questions I have, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing increased surveillance or they have some additional cameras up or something like that. If that's legal, I would assume I would think it's legal if they have a reason to think it would stop the, stop the shooting. Going to get to some more of your comments here. Write to me on Twitter if you have comments about this story. And about, what do you know? Do you think there's any pattern to these killings? Have any thoughts on why there would be 3 in October and now 1 in November? Do you think the person lives in the area? Fern Marie says, would you be out alone? ? Not I. So, well, I understand your concern, and there was one of these stories I read talked about a woman. They interviewed a woman who lives in the area who says when she goes to work in the morning, her husband walks her to her car in the front of the house. So I do think people there are being cautious. It's just, first of all, maybe there are certain situations where people don't have somebody, somebody has to go out to do stuff. Also, remember, it had been, since October 19th, since anything happened. And it's hard, because if you live in the area, you don't want to not go outside. You have to live your life. But I understand your concern too, which is probably scared. So, for all you know, the guy, the victim who got shot this morning was aware of the danger. And for all you know, that person was looking around as they walked around the street, and they just got shot anyway. So I don't know, but it's tough because you can't not go out. But at the same time, I have heard that people are taking precautions there, but it's really hard. Especially when it's so irregular and everything. Isaac Barry says, I live in Tampa. It's been a month since the last murder. It's crazy. That's from Isaac Barry. And I have to wonder, they've all happened in Seminole Heights neighborhood of Tampa. But look, I would think if people live in Tampa, Tampa's a big city. I would think there's worry of people in other neighborhoods, because who's to say the person won't go to another part of Tampa and start shooting people there? I would say if I lived in Tampa and I didn't live in Seminole Heights, but I lived in a different part of Tampa, I would be really concerned. I'd probably be concerned if I lived in the town next over from Tampa. So I'm guessing a lot of people are very worried there in Tampa for a good reason. Oh, thank you, Dingle, for tweeting out your tweet about the black screens. We appreciate it. That's going to get a retweet. Thank you, Danielle Mao, for tweeting it out, too. And JC. Okay, if you have, I want to get to some more of your messages here. Thank you for writing in with all your questions and comments. We are talking about the Tampa serial killer who has claimed 4 victims. 3 in October, 1 this morning, early this morning. JC, one of our moderators, writes in, Steve, how the F can someone like that not get taken down? I drop kick its ass, male, female, who cares? Well, JC, I think they really want to get this person into custody. It's just a question of finding the person. And they said we saw in one of the stories, it said authorities were seconds away. They came a few seconds late because the shooting this morning, somebody saw somebody running away from the scene. And then just a few seconds later, the police showed up. So they seem to be getting close. And it's also, if the person, you would think if the person keeps doing this in this very small area, that would help them find the person. Yeah, I also wonder, would the police do something like set up some sort of perimeter so that it's obviously expensive to do this 24 hours a day, but you have, and maybe they're already doing something like this where you have police stationed around the neighborhood. And then if a shooting happens, then you can set up a perimeter. But if it's a 1 mile area, it's not that easy to set up a perimeter around that whole area. You need a lot of police cars and police officers to do that. But I'm guessing the police are considering ways to try to get the person next time, But hopefully the person doesn't switch areas. I would think that would make it harder for the cops. But it's really scary, and it's been drawn out. If you live in that area, anywhere near that area, it's been like over a month now, and you're probably every time you go outside, you're looking over your shoulder. I'm thinking back to, was it the DC sniper way back when, was like 20 years ago or something like that, where that went on for a while. But when something like this happens, you're just worried even just walking around. Okay, we're going to stay on a little while longer here at Right Side Broadcasting, covering this the Tampa serial killer. And we'd love to get your thoughts on this. Write to me at @Lookner on Twitter, @LOOKNER. You can also follow me on Twitter for breaking news. If I hear anything more about the serial killer or any other news stories, I post about them around the clock. And thank you, those of you who donated so far. We really appreciate the donations. The donations are what keeps us on the air. They let us do a stream like this. They let us, we did a bunch of coverage, probably over an hour of coverage today, live coverage of the shooting in Northern California. None of the mainstream media was covering it. They were just focusing on, MSNBC and CNN were just focusing on Jeff Sessions all day. But I think Fox did like a little 1-minute report on it. But no one in the mainstream media was really covering that shooting. But we came on and covered it, and you allow us to do that. So we really appreciate that. If you want to help us stay on the air and support Right Side Broadcasting, you can go to the bottom of the YouTube chat and click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, little $ there, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Noah Velez says, I don't understand how they say there are multiple supermarkets around. Shouldn't they have more camera footage? Well, I don't know. There might be supermarkets in the area, but I would think the supermarkets are the surveillance footage there are it's like their parking lot, or the walkway right around the supermarket. If this person's walking down the middle of the street, you're not necessarily going to have supermarket cameras on the street. Now, maybe you wonder, are there buildings around or stores around where he might have walked by? I'm guessing that authorities are looking into that, but, it's not like, I don't believe I haven't heard that they have cameras like they do in Times Square on all the streetlights or something. So given where he's walking, maybe it's tough maybe it's not near any of the surveillance cameras any of the stores would have, because you would have to be pretty close to the store to get in that surveillance camera, I would think. Dingle says the DC sniper attacks were 2002, nearly 16 years ago. Wow, we are all old now. It was interesting for how long those went on for, the DC sniper attacks. They occurred during 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 10 people were killed and 3 others were critically injured. So that went on for 3 weeks. This has now gone on about twice as long as those killings. So it's just, again, if you live in the area, it just must be hard because you're probably just worried all the time. When I was a little kid, my family went to visit LA and San Diego when the Night Stalker killings were happening. He was a serial killer. And I remember as a kid, I think I was like 8 years old or 9 years old or something like that. Maybe like 10, I don't know. My brothers and I were all really scared about the Night Stalker. I mean, we were staying like in a hotel and we could lock the door and stuff, but we were still really freaked out because that was when the Night Stalker killings were happening. So it is, if you're in that area, I'm sure it's quite scary. I just retweeted an update. I just saw an update about Zimbabwe. This is really random. I've been covering some Zimbabwe stuff on my Twitter feed, and there's a statement on state TV that says the army is targeting criminals close to Mugabe to bring them to justice. I'll have to, well, we might do a Zimbabwe stream at some point tonight. I got to get out. When I get off the air from this, I'll kind of catch up on that news. Oh, the Zimbabwe army are not talking to President Mugabe. They say he is safe and security is guaranteed during the ongoing operation. So it is not a coup in Zimbabwe. All right, last call for comments here. Let's see. Oh, Happy Robin writes in, what was up with the green screen last night? Another crazy YouTube thing is last night we did this video stream on, what was it? Was it the Jeff Sessions one? One of our streams last night, the last 2 minutes, I think it was the Roy Moore stream. The last 2 minutes of it, if you watch it on YouTube, all you see is like a shot of green fuzz. We have no idea how that happened. I don't have I don't have green fuzz in the studio to put on the camera. But for some reason, the last 2 minutes of our broadcast last night on YouTube ended up being a shot of green fuzz. I think it still might be there if you go watch the Roy Moore video. So again, we're trying to fix these issues, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, I'm just checking out the chat. Thanks again to all the moderators. We have Guinevere, Roger Vega, JC, Real Frank. Thank you all in YouTube, and Common Sense and Gleno on the website. Much appreciated. All right, I think at this point I have gotten to all of your messages. So I think we're going to wrap up this coverage. If we hear of anything else big in this story, like if they arrest the person, we will do a live stream on that. I hope we don't hear about more victims, but we will be keeping our eye on it and keep you informed about what's going on in Tampa. Also, if there's breaking news later tonight, we will come on the air and cover that. And, you know, President Trump is supposed to make an announcement. Is it tomorrow? He tweeted out today that he was going to make a big announcement, but he didn't say exactly when. Let me find that tweet for you. President Trump said, "I will be making a major statement from the White House upon my return to D.C. Time and date to be set." And he has returned. I believe he is back in town, back in D.C. Let me confirm that. But I saw some tweets, I saw some postings about Air Force One. So I believe he's back in DC. Anyways, no big deal here or there. But I think he's back in DC, isn't he? I don't know. I'll have to look this up, but I don't want to waste your time watching me look up something on the internet like that. So, all right, I think we're going to wrap up the stream now. Appreciate you all joining us. Sweet Sinner says, thanks for all your hard work. Thank you, Sweet Sinner, for watching us, and thanks for the thanks. So we're going to wrap this up now. Thank you all for joining us for this live stream, and for your comments, and for your donations, and for the moderators who've been moderating, and for watching. By the way, we love when you share our videos on Facebook and you like them on YouTube. That really helps spread the word about Right Side. So if you like our videos, share them on Facebook and like them on YouTube. And subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so you get notified about when we're coming on the air with one of these videos. And I'll give it one more time. I got to do it one more time. The way to donate because we can only stay on the air if we get donations. That's how we stay on the air. If you want to donate, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. You can even get free Right Side stuff like this Right Side mug in exchange for setting up a monthly donation at rsbn.tv/donate. And if you want Right Side gear, we periodically get asked about Right Side t-shirts and stuff like that. The way to get that is you go to TeePublic, which I'll show you. You go to TeePublic, teepublic.com. You search RSBN. Ooh, they're having a sale. They're having a sale now. So there. You search RSBN. There it is. I click on the one on the left. Oh, and you get all these shirts, different colors. And then they have baseball shirts, crew necks, hoodies, kids shirts, stickers, mugs, notebooks, a little bit of everything there. That's at TeePublic if you want it. All right, we're wrapping the stream up right now. Thank you all so much for joining us for this stream, and we're going to certainly come on soon with more news. And as I mentioned, President Trump's going to make an announcement this week, maybe even tomorrow. Now that he's back in town, there's going to be the press briefings will be starting up again. We'll be covering those, and I'm sure there's going to be stuff going on with the tax bill. So we will be on the air covering that for you guys. Thank you for saying thanks in the chat room. Thank you, Rabbit Hop and Beijing Yank and Patriot of Truth. R. Boyd and DM, Alan Reiser, 9 Fathoms, Mark Banuelos, The American, Ak Peterha, got Kevin Moore, Jason Thornton, Hitlery is racist, Frank Castle, Light Switch says the president's back in the U.S., Dan P., and everybody else there in the chat room. Thanks for watching. All right, we're wrapping it up. We will see you really soon at Right Side Broadcasting. From all of us here, have a great night, and until next time.